Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. I hope it's a good day for you. I know some of you are getting busy time of the year, working, trying to get things organized, planning some travel perhaps. And I just hope that you're having a good time with it, you're just enjoying it. I know that we have a lot on our minds these days, and my heart goes out to some of you. I really do appreciate that you're here, that you are, trying to make the most of this amazing time in your 60s. Now, I am drinking my morning cup of tea. I have green tea this morning with my rainbow mug, which is my cheer me up mug. And maybe you've got a favorite mug or cup of tea or drink that you like. And I just hope that you pamper yourself today. Do something special for you. Now, I was thinking the other day about my life, like we do. And thinking about the things that I stood up for when I was younger. I was very, well, for where this positions me in my political spectrum, I was very active in the anti-war movement in the Vietnam War. I made decisions that I thought were the right ones and spoke out against things I didn't agree with. And I really remember having such a strong point of view about wanting our country to be great and wanting things to be better for everybody, wanting there to be equality and just opportunity for everybody. So I was quite outspoken when I was young. And I remember, my friends, we were all like part of this kind of, just speak our minds. It was the women's liberation movement. We sort of had given ourselves permission to state our points of view and be strong. And, our voices were heard all around the world. But now it seems to me that in our 60s, and this is certainly not true for everybody, but for a lot of women, we've kind of gotten quiet. We've decided that we've kind of done our thing of, putting our ideas forward, expressing our points of view. And now it's time to just kind of let someone else get on with it. And I think that a lot of the issues that we faced when we were teenagers and young women, have improved, but some have definitely not improved. And I think with all the recent talk about sexual harassment and ageism in the workplace, it's very clear that there's still a lot that we need to speak out against and raise our voices. Now, of course, everybody's got their own style, their own way of doing this. So I'm just telling you, what my view is, and also the view of one of our bloggers. Her name is Ellen Bachmar. Now, Ellen wrote a really good article about why women, she felt, should reclaim their power and speak up. And, she talks about this very point that we've been doing it for years. It's been our kind of, our way of expressing ourselves. But now we've maybe, over time, learned to be more subtle or more, just more controlled in the way that we talk about things. And she says, how many times, for example, have you spoken up against your friends or your partners because you just don't want an argument? Like, you kind of know where the buttons are that you can push, and it's like, okay, I don't want to go there. Do you avoid sharing your views on a topic? Because you're afraid that you're going to create some kind of a disagreement or an argument. Look at me, as I even introduce this, I make apologies for my behavior or for my beliefs, because I just want to, be open to other points of view. I don't want to appear to be narrow-minded, but I think this is kind of what holds us back. If you remember the messages from your childhood, and how you responded to them, is there a reason that you don't apply that same passion and, expressiveness to what you believe in today? This thing is really an important question. So Ellen writes this article about how we can, kind of rethink the way that we talk about things that are on our minds and things that are, bothering us, and be part of the change, be part of the change that we want to see in the world, and how to connect with your power by being aware of your feelings and kind of what you believe in. I think that's super, super important. So when you tune in with your feelings and your emotions, then you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and then you can speak up. You can speak up for what you think is right. And if you don't tell yourself what's important, if you don't convince yourself that what you have to say is worth saying, then you'll be silent, you'll be quiet. So Ellen gives some ideas, and I think for me some of these are very good. one, for example, is to have a daily reflection. I do this actually when I meditate, and I know you're not supposed to be thinking when you're meditating, but I start by calming down and thinking kind of what are the priorities of the day? What's going to go on in my life that day that might create an opportunity to just really tune into my beliefs and myself. So think about what she says. Now think about the things and the situations that are in your mind, and make a decision. Are you going to put them aside, push them back, or are you going to say something about them? Is today the day you're going to challenge someone on that ageism conversation? Or not so much challenge. I know Ashton Applewhite always corrected me when I said this when we interviewed, and she said, it's pushing back. You're pushing back. It's not a fight. It's a pushback. And I think that that's really important, to challenge your own fears and then to move forward. So I think that that's important. Another thing that reflection, I think, gives you that sense, that center. And then she reminds us to leave the past behind. If you've got situations that affected the way that you view a reality today, kind of let it go and maybe look closely at why that made you so reactive and just so intense about it. In other words, it's good to push back, it's good to state your point of view, but do it from a point of reflection and intelligence. Talk back, push back when you know it's what you believe in, not just for the sake of an argument. But I think it's really important not to judge other people. To have a proper open-mindedness about conversation, to maintain the art of good conversation in getting your points across. And this enables you, I think, to reclaim your power, because it's your power. And you're not trying to talk on behalf of anyone else. You're not trying to convince someone. It's what you believe. And I know that right now people are a little nervous about speaking out and claiming that voice. But I think if you can just put all your prejudices, your own prejudices aside, and just speak from your heart, it will come across in a genuine way. And it's important as well to listen to the other perspective as well, so that you let others have their power. You have others talk about what's on their mind, and maybe find some point that you agree on, even if it's a small point. You can say, so let's say that we both agree that women should have equal rights in the workplace. Let's talk about, maybe you have a different view of how we can get there. And in other words, be sensitive to other people's points of view as well. Most importantly, and I love that Ellen mentions this, is to be respectful of yourself. Believe in yourself. You don't, just because you're 60 years old, you don't have to stop believing in things that you want to change, things that you want to improve. She says, and I agree, that the biggest tragedy in reaching this amazing time of your life is, not feeling that you have any impact, that you don't make a difference, that what you believe in is not important. And I think that, I guess if there's any message that I want to discuss with this conversation is, do you really believe in yourself? Do you, have points of view that you want to get across, that you want to share? Honestly, one of the greatest things I think we've learned in life so far in these beautiful 60 years plus years that we've been given, is there's a wisdom about some of the perspectives we had, some of the decisions we made. And that wisdom, I don't know. I remember I was having a conversation the other day with a person, my family member, and they were saying how they were lacking confidence in some area. And I was like, oh my goodness, don't worry about making a mistake, about speaking out on for what you think is right. Because honestly, half the time people aren't paying any attention to you at all. They, don't be held back by your fear of a judgment or lack of acceptance. And I think that, as Ellen says, for the sake of the women who are to come, or the young women today, your grandchildren, your adult children, speak out, find your voice, and don't, like I said, find a balance for how to present it so you can have a constructive conversation, but go for it. This is my point of view. It takes courage. It takes courage to speak your truth. As long as it's your truth and it's your passion, and you based on your past experience, on the wisdom you've learned, then I think it's valuable. You know, your thoughts, your observations, your wisdom are important to this world. And especially around the holiday time, I think it's super important, to use opportunities when you've got your family together, when you've got your friends together, to actually, talk about what's important from the heart. Push back, let your voice be heard, but in a kind and considerate way. Oh, so tough though. But anyway, I know you can do it. Hope that you have a really wonderful day. And I'd love to ask you, what are the challenges that you're facing in speaking your mind, in sharing your voice? What are some of the challenges? I'd love to have a conversation about this. And I guess, what are the things that are really important to you? Thanks again for being here, everyone. I really appreciate your time and for your passion and your wonderful comments. I always enjoy reading them. I'd love to know what your challenges are in speaking your voice. And tell other people about 60andMe. Use your voice for that. I'd love to have more people here so that we can just keep growing the conversation. Take good care, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you all back here again soon. Bye-bye for now.